everybody, it's Dave from Wing Chun Mind Force. Sorry I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. I've been thinking about you guys, doing lots of Kung Fu practice myself, and I just thought I'd make a short video about something that I think about constantly and that hopefully will help you in your finding of Wing Chun Mind Force and finding of the true power of Wing Chun. It's a very simple thing, and I've talked about it before, and you've probably heard this before, but you know the Centerline Theory. Okay, you can think about things that you do on the centerline, keeping your arms on the centerline, connecting with the other guy's centerline, with your centerline, all those things. But the essence of that and the essence of the power we develop in Wing Chun is always using our body weight. A full body weight in everything we do. So the key to this is Siu Nim Tau in its true sense, which means to gain an absolutely powerful super sense of your body. What I've told you about, Sigung called it, I got this from Mark Ho from Sung Wing Chun, a mind map of your body. So a huge part of this art is to learn to meditate, and specifically to meditate just standing. Now it doesn't seem very exciting, but I do this every day. I do it in the shower. I like hot water streaming down on my head, running down my body. My video I made a couple of years ago, I was standing under a cold shower outside. You don't have to be underwater, it's just one of the things that helps. But just stand and meditate in that you don't think, you feel your body inside and out, and feel your balance. Really think about your balance and just move it a little bit in all sorts of directions, and then stay still, but just get a sense. You want an exquisite sense of balance, of yourself being balanced over a point, almost like a pinpoint. And this is the clue. Sorry, it's definitely got a bit noisy with cars. The big thing is you've got to stay in that mind state in absolutely 100% everything you do in Wing Chun. So you don't leave your body, you don't leave this mental feeling and sense of the body ever. So you don't leave it in Siu Nim Tau, in Chum Q, in Bilji, in the dummy, in the knives, in the pole. Now the aeroplanes are having a go. It's a nice day today, everyone's out. It's almost like spring, even though it was freezing yesterday. You stay in Chi Sao. If you're out here playing with your arms, that's not Wing Chun. Wing Chun is always about the Siu Nim Tau state, which is always about being in your body. And you might say, well, what about my arms and my legs? What have they got to do with it? Well, in a strange way, you don't have any. Now, of course you do, but I think of them as tendrils, just sort of like some kind of mind instruments that express the weight and power of the body. And I've often talked to you about the floating torso, the feeling of, which I think is really what Tai Gong is. It's a sealing of the bottom of the torso and connecting it to the top of the head and above that. That's something I want to tell you about in a second. But you want to feel that floating in space, and the arms and the legs don't really exist. It's like, this is just a practice that I do, which I think is vital for you to understand. You need to always be in there. And doesn't matter what other people are doing to you, you need to stay in there, and you need to bring them in. Like when somebody puts force on you, what we do in Wing Chun is we take the force in. We don't try to fight back. You take it into that super place you've got in there, And the more force they put on you, the heavier this gets and the more power it gets. It's like they give their power to you. And so that's why we can easily turn somebody. Somebody's trying to stop us pivoting or moving. If I'm out there fighting what he's got, then it's just muscle against muscle. But if I take him in, so there's nobody there, then once again, I'm just turning this. And another thing I do, not just standing, but I just move a little bit, as if I'm just a ball floating on a lake and the wind's just turning me gently a little bit. You want to feel that feeling like you're super fluid, like you got really oily joints or something. You've got no legs, your legs are just sort of hanging there, touching the bottom of the stream bed. You're floating on the water, you're just able to turn. The next exercise is to move, but just wait until you get that floating feeling, and then just float. Float in different directions, but always just being in this, as if the legs and the arms are not really there. You're just floating around. So whichever way you're doing it, you're just like this ball floating. And this is an old idea of mine, but I was thinking about balls one day and I realized that balls don't have a up or a down or a sideways. And this is a crucial thing to understand in Wing Chun. This standing like this is a meditation, but you can keep this same state. Once you get it, you can be like this, like this, like this, and it's hard for me to explain, but once you feel that state of being in the body and not being in the conscious mind thinking about stuff, you can sort of generate the same power, doesn't matter where you are. So, fairly simple but very profound. Stay in your body, doesn't matter what you're doing in Wing Chun. Practice that, practice that, practice that. And when I teach people or look at other people, especially doing Chum Kyu, you know, the first form where we start to move, I always notice when they're not in their body. And they're just sort of pushing with their arms, stepping with their legs. I always notice that. One of the things I do notice, if I put pressure on one of my students' chest, they try to go under the force or over the top, instead of just being that body and just floating forward. And as with always in Wing Chun, you should feel effortless. Like, if it's not effortless, just go back, think, okay, get into the body. It's all in here. This is all that matters. Don't worry about what's out there. Somebody's pushing on you, take them in, take them in. Don't move until you can feel they're in there. You've got that body which is already full of mass and power. Load up them, suck their force in, and just start moving. All right, what was that other thing I said I'd tell you about? I've forgotten. I'll turn this off and find out and come back and record it. Hi again, I remembered what it was. It was an idea that came to me when I was just standing in my Dai Wei Kwun practicing, and I was thinking about rising up. I think this is really important. It's not an idea that you'll hear often, but the idea of rising up here and being really tall. And essentially, I've got this idea I had from a vision several years ago that was incredibly profound, a Wing Chun vision, where I saw myself wearing this tall black hat with a flat top, and I had all these like diamonds or stones or something hanging off it, and the little red stones look like roses. It was pretty trippy, but the really important thing is I sort of felt like I was really tall, and I sort of often stand under the shower and feel like I'm growing at the top, like a tree growing out of my head. But I had this vision of, just the other day, of two skinny fingers pressing right into my vertebrae there, two skinny fingers sort of pressing through my flesh and up the spine and sending energy up, and feeling the bones expand, or the spaces between the bones release, I guess, is better. I don't think bones actually expand their bones, but the space is, I think, what happens when we really can let go is that there's like tension holding things tight, and when you let go, it feels like you get taller. But it's just an idea. But think about that: 2 fingers pressing up your spine. Imagine that's the spine. 2 fingers, skinny fingers pressing up and running up the spine, and feel that getting higher. So that's enough of my strange ideas for you today. Thanks so much for coming, and thanks for watching. Hope you're still enjoying my videos. Please tell others about it. I want to grow the channel. I'm up to 1,040 people, I think. I'd like to get 10,000. I still intend to make a course, hopefully a couple of courses, and I've made a little bit of a start on that, so please encourage me. Okay, I want to just give you the essence of what I believe Wing Chun really is about. My take on it. And there's a number of other great things out there you can learn, people you can learn from. I'd like to give the Dave Lovegrove ideas in a really concise form. So, see you, and look forward to seeing you next time.